Welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today because, well, we're going to unlock something that so many people dream about, but honestly feel is just totally out of reach. We're unpacking this ultimate visual guide on smart travel, diving deep into the art of seeing the world on a budget. Look, if you've ever scrolled through photos of distant cities or pristine beaches on your phone and just sighed, thinking, man, my bank account would never allow that, you are in exactly the right place. Get ready because we are literally about to change the way you look at packing your bags forever. Okay, let's dive right into this. Does travel actually require a fortune? It's kind of the elephant in the room when it comes to globetrotting, right? There's this massive, pervasive myth out there that you need to be loaded to travel. I mean, we see these luxury resorts and first-class flights all over social media, and we just internalize this idea that travel is an exclusive club for the wealthy. But today, we are going to completely bust that myth. We're going to see exactly how smart, calculated planning completely beats out having a massive bank account. So here is our roadmap for the explainer today. First, we're breaking that expensive travel myth. Second, what to do before you travel with planning and booking. Third, handling transport and food at your destination. Fourth, how to enjoy more while spending less. And finally, looking at your budget and the absolutely critical mistakes you need to avoid. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, breaking the expensive travel myth and changing your mindset. Listen, budget travel does not equal deprivation. Let me just say that one more time for the folks in the back. It does not mean sleeping on a cold airport floor or eating absolutely nothing but instant noodles for a week. It's really just about substituting money with smart planning and simple, highly effective strategies. It's all about maintaining a high-quality, totally unforgettable experience without exhausting your wallet. Travel really isn't a financial burden. When you do it right, it's an incredibly empowering, strategic endeavor. Moving right along to Section 2, Before You Travel. This is all about planning, booking, and building that solid foundation. And this brilliantly illustrates the savvy traveler's timeline. It starts early, right? At 6 months out, you're just calmly beginning your research. Literally zero pressure. Then at 4 months, you're starting to compare early flight and hotel offers, just kind of watching the trends. And by 2 months out, boom, you are finalizing those bookings before the last-minute rush hits. Doing it this way allows you to just calmly compare your options, snag those early bird deals, and completely avoid the stressful peak season price gouging that catches so many tourists way off guard. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this massive number right here, 30 to 60%. That is exactly how much of your total travel costs you can save simply by choosing the right time to travel. I mean, just imagine taking a $3,000 trip and slashing it down to just over $1,000 purely by shifting some dates on a calendar. That is the incredible power of strategic timing. So how do you actually capture that 30 to 60% savings? Well, it's all about peak versus off-peak. Peak seasons are your summer vacations, official holidays, school breaks, when literally everyone travels. That means prices skyrocket and the crowds are just overwhelming. Contrast that with off-peak seasons, traveling during school terms, regular non-holiday days, or those sweet shoulder seasons just before or after the main rush. Not only is it incredibly budget-friendly, but you get a way more relaxed, authentic experience without having to fight through a sea of selfie sticks. Since flights are almost always the biggest expense, here's a super reliable step-by-step game plan for finding cheap tickets. Step 1, always compare multiple airlines. Never just check one site. Step 2, search across different days. Flying out on a Tuesday is often vastly cheaper than a Friday, for sure. Step 3, set up automatic price alerts, so the deals literally come straight to your inbox. Step 4, if you have the time, definitely consider a layover instead of a direct flight. And Step 5, this is a fantastic, super easy win, pack light. Seriously, there is nothing more frustrating than arriving at the airport only to get slammed with a $50 fee for a heavy bag. Traveling with just a carry-on instantly dodges those ridiculous extra fees. Now, when it comes to where you sleep, expensive, 5-star luxury isn't the only way to get a comfortable stay. Furnished apartments give you a kitchen so you can cook some of your own meals. Guest houses provide tons of local charm. Tourist hostels and shared accommodations offer this incredible community vibe. And budget hotels give you the privacy you need. The trick here is simple. Always read the guest reviews and verify the location on a map before you hit book. Look, a cheap room isn't cheap if it costs you $20 in train fare every single day just to get to the city center. All right, Section 3. You're at your destination. Let's talk about transport, food, and on-the-ground strategies. So the crucial point here is the choice you have to make once you actually land. You can totally fall into the tourist trap, relying on expensive daily taxis and eating at these luxury tourist restaurants located right next to major monuments. Or you can embrace the local experience, taking the bus or metro, renting a bike, buying fresh food from local markets, and eating at traditional neighborhood eateries. Living and eating like a local is not only vastly cheaper, but it actually provides a far more authentic, immersive, and frankly much more delicious cultural experience. Moving right along to Section 4, enjoy more, spend less. It's time to maximize the fun. You can unlock an absolute gold mine of value by mixing structural discounts with completely free activities. Over on the discount side, keep an eye out for city tourist cards that bundle your transport and attraction entries together, seasonal sales, and utilizing those loyalty programs you signed up for. But whatever you do, don't overlook the free activities. Cities are packed with amazing things that cost absolutely nothing. Wandering through historic neighborhoods, relaxing in huge public parks, checking out beaches, or taking advantage of days when world-class museums actually offer free entry. You can fill whole days of your itinerary with massive value at zero extra cost. Finally, we have Section 5, your budget and the critical mistakes to avoid. Let's look at the big financial picture. So this chart visually demonstrates exactly how a well-planned budget should be strategically divided. You've got your major slices: flights, accommodation, food, transport, and leisure activities. But please notice that crucial sixth element right there, the emergency fund. Having a specific allocation for the unexpected, like a lost ticket or maybe a quick pharmacy visit, ensures that if something goes slightly wrong, it doesn't instantly become a financial crisis. Sticking to a breakdown exactly like this prevents random spending and ensures you can travel entirely without financial stress. And hey, knowing what not to do is just as important as finding great deals, right? Let's run through these quickly. Booking at the last minute, that usually means paying premium rates. Ignoring price comparisons, that practically guarantees you leave money on the table. Overpacking, gonna hit you with fees. Ignoring housing reviews, that leads to miserable nights. Traveling without an emergency fund is a huge, huge risk. And random spending on overpriced souvenirs, that'll drain your budget faster than anything else. Avoid these traps and you are golden. I really want to hammer this home because it's the absolute core philosophy of this whole explainer. Smart spending isn't deprivation. It is directing your money to the most valuable experiences. We're empowering you to basically skip the overpriced, unnecessary extra services and the cheap plastic souvenirs, so you can take that saved money and use it to fund an extra day of exploring, a cooking class with a local chef, or even a train ticket to a neighboring town. The most beautiful memories are not tied to the amount of money spent, but rather to the experiences lived. Man, it's incredibly profound, isn't it? When you look back on your travels 5, 10 years from now, you are not going to remember the thread count of your hotel sheets or whether you took a private taxi instead of the local train. You're going to remember the people you met, the vibrant streets you walked, and those incredible, authentic moments that totally took your breath away. So, wrapping this all up, I want to leave you with one final thought. We've busted the myths, we've laid out the entire planning timeline, we've navigated those on-the-ground savings, and we've completely mapped out the budget. You have the complete roadmap now. The whole world is honestly way more accessible than you ever thought. So, what will be the destination of your very first smartly budgeted adventure? Start dreaming, start planning, and I'll see you out there.